Hey everybody, Mac Tomaso here, back with Marvel Heroes, and this time we're going to do a melee pool. We got Deadpool, and while leveling them up, I'm taking them to level 50 obviously because I got to level everybody else up. I figure I might as well have the special item find and drop rarity boost for synergies, and got lucky with some uniques, and it opened up what it really looked like a good thing for melee pool. And he's actually pretty good even without the uniques if you just build them towards it. But let me show you what I did. We'll start with his abilities here. I mean, primarily you're going to open up Flesh Wound, and you're going to put points into safety through stabbing, obviously. And if you look at the safety through stabbing, by putting tons of points in there, you get a good chunk of extra defense, but a massive chunk of dodge. You're going to be in the 40s, mid 40s percentage for dodge, and that's going to help him out dramatically because he's not too durable. Although I went with durability on the core, I'd rather have fighting because we're close up. Fighting with lifesteal, obviously. And then you're going to obviously put points into superior healing factor and get better fast. Get better fast is going to be an emergency. Give me some health really quick here, and superior healing factor is going to give you a lot of health. And then safety through stabbing is giving you the defense. The flesh wound is giving you the offense with a high bleed. It's a really nice, hard-hitting skill. And we're going to back it up with foot gougers, which is going to do a lot of damage for you. And if you look at the foot gougers, they're going to reduce everything around you by 57% on attack speed and movement speed. So that's going to be awesome. And we're going to use more bullets. You could just pump points into body slide by 1 if you want, but by putting 1 point in body slide and putting points into more bullets, we end up with a large chunk of crit rating this way, which is why I'm doing it. You also get a lot of spirit per second, which is going to come in semi-handy, not really important, but if you really go nuts on your skills, it comes in handy. For 1 point, you're going to put in the body slide by 1, like I said, so we get that crit, and we have our teleport to move us around. A very handy skill, is really handy with range, and I would suggest range up until like maybe 30s. Early 30s would work too. You're going to put a point obviously in God mode, and with this build I'm putting a point into power-ups, and only because I have so much excess spirit to burn, and I'll show you how I'm doing that in a second. If you don't have the setup that I'm using, power-ups may or may not be a good thing for you to have. You'll always want to make sure you have enough spirit to teleport out of danger and hit get better fast. So that being the build, let me show you the gear that I got worked out that really synergizes everything. Unique number 1 is the guns with no name. It's kind of ironic that this is actually going to be what gives my stab so much backbone to it. Because if you look, it says after using a Hurdy power, your next Fighty power, it has 704 damage rating. So we're using foot gougers, and that's a Hurdy power. So as soon as I drop those, the first stab that I'm going to do, Flesh Wound, is going to be an extra 700 damage. So, it's going to hit hard. Foot gougers I can drop once per second, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Every second dropping it so I get that boost to my melee. Also, if you look at the guns with no name, you regenerate, well, this one's 59 health when you hit with a basic power. That's going to provide a massive amount of incoming life for you to sustain being in melee range. Again, it's giving you a ton of health and a ton of crit, so we get even more crit here. And then +1 to all powers and +2 to God mode. +1 to powers is really nice. The Katana's of Gratuitous Violence is the other unique that's backing us up. If you look, it's got crit rating, some damage on crit. Brutal strike rating, which is really nice on this crit-based build because I'm at a 40% crit rate and almost 11% brutal strike rate. But when you hit with a fighty power, you cause your target to bleed for 734 physical damage over 5 seconds. If an enemy dies with this condition on them, they explode. So now we got our stabby hitting with its dot damage, with this dot damage, and most lower things blow up and do extra damage for you. And that is very nice. And this has got some extra health on it as well. And now we're working it in with Pim's Shrinking Serum. Because we're in melee range and we're using safety through stabbing to get that massive amount of dodge going on, we're adding on to the dodge rating with Pim's. But more importantly, you gain 67 spirit when you dodge. It has an internal cooldown of 1 second, which is kind of ironic because you're only spending spirit every second. And that's on the foot gougers. Maybe get better faster if you got really hurt. But also, it allows you to drop the power-ups that we put a point into. And, you know, the power-ups durations last 5 seconds. So you only have to do that once in a blue moon. More than enough time for Pims to fill you up on spirit again. I'm constantly full of spirit, and I can face tank all 4 mobs in Midtown. With God mode, I have very little worry about actually dying. Sometimes God mode does go off if I get caught by Rhino and I don't see where he came from, or there's a lot of just stuff going on. It can be a little bit tough to do solo Midtowns, but that's what I've been doing tonight. And I'm using a Midtown Patrol badge, which just gives me more health and spirit, and +1 to all powers. And of course, Relic of Lumeria. I mean, that's just awesome for any kind of melee build. And then Dr. Octopus Metal, because look how big that flesh wound hits. I mean, I'm hitting tons of stuff with it, so it's a nasty amount of damage that I'm putting out and a nasty amount of life coming back in. So now that I've explained it, I'm going to go ahead and head out to Midtown. I got to kill some supervillains, and be a great place to showcase how it works. Oh, great! We got supervillains. I think I'm the only one here, so that's pretty nice. I think we'll kill off Pyro first. He's annoying. As you can see, I'm having no problems maintaining spirit. Oh, he keeps stunning me, that's why I'm getting stunned. The power-ups are awesome supplemental damage boosts. There. Especially when you get the speed ones, those things are awesome. Hulk one's pretty good too. So, there you go. Just sold 3 Midtown bosses together. I was alone, so you know their damage and life does scale by how many players there are. But still, you know, you can't beat that. That's pretty awesome. And it's like that with regular trash. I'll find just some trash pack and I'll destroy it for you. Here we go. That wasn't hard. I don't even use the power-ups here. I just use the power-ups on bosses and anything that's really, really heavy. But you can see the yellow's already dead. They're trying to kill me. But I'm dodging so much and regenerating so much that, you know, they're not even scratching. And that's how everyone's doing melee pool. You know, a couple skills can alternate here and there, but for the most part, that's what they're doing. And it's the gear that they're using as well. Oh, one more. So, I hope it helped. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later.